limiting reagent concepts. What is this limiting reagent? Where it is used? All these here we are going to discuss. So total problems in your stoichiometry generally based on this limiting reagent. If two or more components values are given to you, we should follow limiting reagent concepts. So what is that limiting reagent? Here we are going to discuss. Let us take one example. After completion of that example, I am going to explain, I am going to define that limiting reagent. See here. Let us take carbon, which is in graphite form, reacts with oxygen, that gives carbon dioxide. This is a gas, this is a gas. This is the well-known chemical reaction, easiest one. By using this, I am going to explain that limiting reagent. By using this, I am going to explain this limiting reagent. Yes. Okay. So let us take from this stoichiometric equation what we are collecting here. That is 1 mole graphite reacts with 1 mole oxygen that liberates 1 mole carbon dioxide. 1 mole carbon dioxide. This is the stoichiometric equation. Now I am going to ask a question, that is, if 0.5 mole carbon reacts with 0.25 mole oxygen, how much carbon dioxide will form? How much carbon dioxide will form? So that is explained with the help of this limiting reagent. So what is this limiting reagent? Limiting reagent means that is the reagent which is completely consumed in the reaction. The reagent, the reactant, that is the reactant in clear. It is the reactant which is completely consumed in the reaction. Okay, so let us take. So from our stoichiometric condition, 1 mole carbon requires 1 mole oxygen. That gives 1 mole carbon dioxide. So let us take, if this value is not given to you, I want to find out how much is actually required for this 0.5 mole. That means 1 mole required 1 mole oxygen, 0.5 moles required 0.5 moles oxygen. 0.5 moles oxygen actually required. But the given value is 0.25. But the given value is 0.25. That means the given value is less than that of required value. Given value is less than that of required value. That means it is insufficient for complete consumption of this 0.5 moles. 0.5 moles. That means which is in less than required amount, which is taken as limiting reagent. The reactant which is less than required amount present, which is completely consumed, that is called as limiting reagent. That means 0.25 mole oxygen react with 0.25 mole graphite and 0.25 mole remaining. That means 0.5 moles of graphite is not completely involved in the reaction, but if 0.25 mole oxygen is involved in the reaction, so that 0.25 mole requires 0.25 mole. So 0.5 minus 0.25, that is 0.25 is still remaining. That is graphite. That means this is in excess. How much value is excess here? 0.25 mole is excess. That means this reagent is called as excess reagent. Excess reagent. This reagent is called as limiting reagent. It is completely consumed, it is remaining, something remaining after completion of the reaction. That means, so here 0.5 mole is not involved in the reaction, only 0.25 involved in the reaction, this 0.25 involved in the reaction. Now it gives 0.25 moles of CO2. So now the answer is 0.25, not 0.5. That means our answer is with respect to limiting reagent, not with respect to excess reagent. Our answer is only with respect to limiting reagent, not with respect to excess reagent. How much value is excess here? So that is which is in excess amount, that is graphite is in excess amount. How many moles excess amount is there? 0.25. Why it is 0.25? 0.25 involved in the reaction, amount 0.5. So the remaining value is 0.25. Now it is excess reagent. Okay, that means in a chemical reaction, there is two types of reaction, reactants. So one is excess reactant, another one is limiting reactant. So if two or more chemicals are there, only one is limiting reagent, remaining all are excess reagents. So our calculation only with respect to our limiting reagent, because it is completely consumed. That is a product only with respect to the completely consumed reactant. Other one should be in excess amounts. That excess amounts we are going to calculate. Okay, so is this clear or not? So in C, carbon and oxygen is limiting reagent, carbon is excess reagent. Now we are going to take one more example. One more example. One more simple equation. Sulfur reacts with oxygen gives sulfur dioxide. Sulfur reacts with oxygen gives sulfur dioxide. If 16 grams of sulfur reacts with 16 grams of oxygen, how much weight of the SO2 will be formed? How much weight? As per our stoichiometry, it is 1 mole. This is 1 mole is formed. 1 mole means atom is atomic weight. That is 32 grams actually involved in the reaction. Molecular weight of O2, that is 32 grams actually involved. Now 1, that is 1 mole. 1 mole, that is 64 grams actually formed. 64 grams. Here 16 grams reacts with 16 grams. That means, so 16 grams require actually 16 grams. That 16 grams is available here. That means this 16 grams completely consumed. This 16 grams also completely consumed. That means exactly these two are involved in the reaction. So no one is available. This entire one converted into 32 grams of SO2. Now, how much is remaining? 0 grams. How much of this one is remaining? 0 grams. How much is formed here? 32 grams. Finally, we have only 32 grams. There is no sulfur, there is no oxygen. That means both are limiting reagents here. Both are completely consumed here. That means exact ratio of elements is given to you. That means if stoichiometric amounts are added, see once again. Sulfur plus oxygen gives sulfur dioxide. So stoichiometric means the balanced one. Stoichiometric amount, it is 1 mole. That means it is 1 mole means atomic weight 32 grams. 1 mole is molecular weight 32 grams. 1 mole is molecular weight 64. 32 plus 32 gives 64. And that is raw conservation of mass. For example, exact values 16 grams plus 16 grams. That is exactly ended. That is 1:1 ratio is added. 1:1 ratio added. Now it is 32 grams is formed. 8 grams plus 8 grams. No doubt 16 grams is formed. That means all these are 1:1 ratio. These are stoichiometric amounts. The stoichiometric amounts are there. All reactants are there is limiting reagents. If non-stoichiometric amounts are added, for example, the ratio of the sulfur and oxygen is in the weight ratio 1:1. Now here 32 grams, here 16 grams are added. Is it stoichiometric or non-stoichiometric? Non-stoichiometric. Now, one is limiting reagent and one is excess reagent. This is limiting reagent, this is excess reagent. In this 16, here 16 involved in the reaction. That means 16 grams is formed. It is 0. It is 16 grams. In the final mixture, we have both sulfur and SO2. Sulfur is how much? 16 grams. SO2 is how much? 16 grams. So these are available conditions. So now sulfur is in excess amount. O2 is limiting amount. That is why oxygen is taken as limiting reagent, sulfur is taken as excess reagent. Okay, so is this clear or not? If non-stoichiometric chemicals are added, then only that limiting reagent concept is applied. That limiting reagent concept is applied. That's enough. So what is your doubt, Farooq? If it is non-stoichiometric, automatically, if it is non-stoichiometric, automatically, that is limiting reagent concept is applied. So I'm going to do some problems based on this concept. If you have any doubt, if you have further doubts, so lastly, I'm going to mute off, then speak with me. Okay, at last. So today I'm giving a chance to talk with me. So that means at about, that is 12:30 at that time, so I'm going to talk with you. So if you have any doubts, I'm itself clarified. Okay. So now the problems based on this limiting reagent. So take pen and paper. Take pen and paper and solve along with me. Equal weights of sulfur and oxygen combine to form SO2. Find the percentage excess equal weights of sulfur and oxygen combine to form SO2. Find the percentage excess reagent left behind. How much? Yes, it is 0%. Good. So already I explained the concept. That is, a sulfur combined with oxygen that gives SO2. Equal weights are given to you. Equal weights. That means let the weight of sulfur is 1, oxygen is also 1. Weight. That will convert into moles. Weight by atomic weight 32, weight by molecular weight 32. That is 1:1 is added. So our stoichiometry also 1:1 added. That means no one is available in excess amounts. No one is available in excess amounts. So it will be clear. Wait some time. Running on mobile data. It will clear. Now video is clear or not? Just a minute. Yes? Okay. Actually, 1:1 mole ratio is available. Here also, weights are equal, 1 and 1. So I'm going to convert moles, weight by atomic weight, weight by atomic. It is also 1:1. That means no reactant is in excess because the exact stoichiometry ratio is added. Therefore, percentage excess is 0% because no one is left there. No one is left there. That is the percentage of excess reagent is 0%. So it is a simple one. Now I am going to take next one. Eight grams methane is bond with 5.6 liters of O2 gas at STP. O2 gas at STP. CO2 gas produced is passed through aqueous NaOH solution containing 4 grams NaOH. Find the moles of NaHCO3 sodium bicarbonate formed. Find the moles of NaHCO3 formed. Correct. 0.1 correct. See here, methane is bonded with 5.6 liters of water. So 5. Now I am going to convert these weights or volumes into moles. 0.8 grams means weight by molecular weight. Molecular weight 16. That is 1/2. 0.5 mole and 0.5 mole of methane is there. 5.6 liters of gas at STP. 5.6 liters means, once again, it is 22.4 by, sorry, I'm going to convert into moles. Given volume by 22.4, that is 1/4, that is 0.25 mole of O2 is there. 0.25 mole of O2 is there. So now apply combustion reaction. No doubt, methane reacts with oxygen, gives carbon dioxide and water. Balance it, 2 moles water, 2 moles oxygen. It is a balanced reaction. As per balance, 1 mole of this one reacts with 2 moles of this one. That form 1 mole. This is 2 moles. But the given values are, it is 0.5 mole, that is 0.25 mole. How much of CO2 is found? First of all, calculated. So there is no need of that water. So that means 1 mole requires 2 moles. 0.5 moles requires 1 mole. 0.5 moles require 1 mole. Actually, we want 1 mole, but there is only 0.25. That means, so this is the value less than that of required value. Now it is the limiting reagent, less than required. Automatically, it should be the excess reagent. It should be. Now calculation is based on limiting reagent, not with excess reagent. So that is why neglect this. There is no need of this one. Now 2 moles gives 1 mole, 0.25 moles releases. That is 0.25 by 200. That's off. That is 0.1. That is how much? 2 moles, 1 mole. So that is 0.25. 0.25 has simply 1 by 8 mole. 1 by 8 mole. Okay, it is 1 by 4 mole. 1 by 4 is changed to 1 by 8. So this is 1 by 4 mole. 1 by 4 here is converted into 1 by 8 mole. That means 1 by 8 moles of CO2 is formed. 1 by 8 moles of CO2 is formed. Okay. Now this entire CO2 is passed to NaOH solution, aqueous NaOH solution. Aqueous NaOH solution. That means CO2 is dissolved in aqueous, means water. Water H2CO3. That means here 1 by 8 moles CO2 is formed. That means 1 by 8 moles H2CO3 is formed. 1 by 8 moles. Now that 1 by H2CO3 reacts with NaOH, aqueous NaOH, gives NaHCO3 plus H2O. NaHCO3 plus H2O. Here 4 grams NaOH is used. 4 grams means weight by molecular weight. 1 Now board is clear. Okay. 1 by 10 moles. Here H2CO3 1 by 8 mole reacts with 1 by 10 mole. 1 by 10 mole. So now 1 mole required 1 more NaOH. 1 by 8 mole required 1 by 8 mole, but it is less than that one. That's why it is limiting reagent. No need this one. Now 1 by 10 moles gives 1 by 10 moles of NaHCO3. Therefore, it is 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole. So mind it, here limiting reagent concept is used. Here also limiting reagent concept is used. Two limiting reagent concepts, two applicative parts. So very, very easy. If you know the limiting reagent, the calculations are very, very easy. So once again, I'm going to explain. Up to this, how many moles of CO2 is formed? 1 by 8 moles formed. 1 by 8. Now that CO2 dissolved in water gives H2CO3. Actually, 1 mole reacts with 1 mole, that gives 1 mole. It is in excess 70. Aqueous means excess. Now 1 by 8 moles automatically form 1 by 8 moles of H2CO3. 1 by 8 moles of H2CO3. Now that H2CO3 reacts with this NaOH, NaOH gives NaHCO3 plus H2O. Plus H2O. So how many moles of NaHCO3 here is formed? 1 by 8. As per rule, 1 mole reacts with 1 mole, that gives 1 mole NaHCO3. Here 1 by 8 mole is taken. NaOH is how much? 1 by 10. 1 by 10 mole is given. How many moles of NaHCO3 is formed? For 1 by 8, there is a need of 1 by 8 value, but it is 1 by 10. That means it is more. It is less. That means required value is more than that of given value. Now this value is a limiting reagent. So automatically this one is excess reagent. So our calculations are totally with respect to limiting reagent. 1 mole gives 1 mole NaHCO3. 1 by 10 moles gives 1 by 10 moles NaHCO3. That is 0.1 mole is formed. 0.1 mole is formed. So this is how many moles of NaOH3CO3. That is finally our answer is 0.1. 0.1. That means it is all these are simultaneous reactions. So here the product is formed, that product is used here. Now once again product is formed, that product may also use it in next reaction. That means all these reactions are considered as sequential reactions. If you know one compound weight, then that is used in second reaction, that may be used in third reaction. So all these are sequential reactions. This type of reactions are very, very important. The problems based on these reactions are also very, very important. Please learn once again. So I'm giving one more example here. See that? Find the moles of NaH2PO4, sodium dihydrogen phosphate. If 1.5 mole H3PO4 reacts with 2 moles NaOH. 2 moles NaOH. Waiting for your answer. Yes, 1.5 correct. Karan. All right, the reaction. What is the reaction between this? What are the reactants? This one reacts with this one. That gives this one. This is the product. These are the reactants. Now, H3PO4 reacts with NaOH, gives NaH2PO4 plus H2O. As per stoichiometry, 1 mole reacts with 1 mole, that gives 1 mole. But here 1.5 mole is taken, 2 moles is taken. How many moles are this one? 1 mole required 1 mole, 1.5 mole required 1.5. So here it is excess. So required, this value is, the given value is more than that of required value. That is excess. Now it is the limiting reagent. So here it is not, it is 1.5 mole gives automatically 1.5 moles NaH2PO4. Based on that, limiting reagent constant, simplest one. Sequential reaction means consecutive reaction. So product in first reaction product is used as reactant in second. Second reaction product is used as a reactant in third reaction. Okay. So this is very, very important. Try it. .7 grams aluminum is added to dilute HCl solution containing 3.65 grams HCl. Hydrogen released is reacted with 5.6 liters of air which is 80% N2. 5.6 liters of air at STP to form ammonia. Find the moles of ammonia produced. Find the moles of ammonia produced. And also find volume of gaseous reactant left in the second reaction. Two values are there. 0.1 is wrong in first case. 1/30. Yes, correct. Click it. Correct. I think it is 1/30. Accepted. Correct. What is the reaction? So first of all, 2.7 grams aluminum. Convert this value into moles. So 2.7 by 27, which is equal to 0.1 mole. And 0.1 mole aluminum is added to dilute HCl solution containing 3.65 moles, 3.65 grams. 3.65 grams means 3.65 by 36.5. Once again, it is 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole of HCl. That is released. Hydrogen release is reacted with air. Air means here 5.6 liters air is taken. 5.6 liters means 5.6 by 22.4 liters, 1/4 moles. 1/4 moles of air is taken. Okay, these are the values given to you. So here is 0.1, 0.1. It is also 0.1. This is 1/4 moles are involved in the reaction. Now, what is the reaction behind it? The reaction is aluminum reacts with dilute HCl, that gives AlCl3 plus H2O. AlCl3 plus H2. Balance the equation. 2 aluminum, 6 HCl, 2 AlCl3, 3 H2O. 3 H2O. So according to this balance equation, 2 moles aluminum reacts with 6 moles HCl. That gives 3 moles H2O. Okay, but here 0.1 mole HCl aluminum reacts with 0.1 mole HCl. How much moles of that hydrogen, that is hydrogen is formed? 2 moles required 6 moles means 0.1 required 0.3 and that is a triple end. That's why it is also triple. It is required, but the value is 0.1, less value any. That means it is the limiting reagent and it is the excess reagent. Automatically others is excess reagent. So now calculations made with this HCl. Now 6 moles gives 3 moles H2. That means 0.1 mole gives half end. That is 0.1 by 2. That is 0.05 mole. Hydrogen will be liberated. 0.5 moles hydrogen, 0.05 moles hydrogen will be liberated. Okay. Now that released hydrogen is used in the second reaction. What is the second reaction? That liberated hydrogen reacts with air having nitrogen. That means that hydrogen reacts with nitrogen, gives ammonia. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. It is the balance equation. This entire hydrogen is used here. This is from air. This is from air. How much hydrogen is liberated? That is 0.5. So actually 3 moles reacted with 1 mole, that gives 2 moles. Here 0.05 mole hydrogen is taken. How many moles of air? Air is nitrogen. That is, so now I am going to calculate nitrogen. So 1 by 4 into 80 by 100. 1 by 4 into 80 by 100. That is, it is 20 times 1 by 5 moles N2 is formed. 1 by 5 moles. Now it is 5 by 100. 5 by 100 means 1 by 20. 1 by 20 moles. That is 1 by 5 moles. How many moles of ammonia is formed? How many moles of ammonia? So 3 moles required, 1 mole. So 1 by 20 means, so that is 1 by 20 by 3 ND. 1 by 20, that is 1 by 60 ND required. It is required. It is required. But actually 1 by 5 is there. Required amount, this is more than that of required amount. It is excess. This is limiting reagent. This is limiting reagent. So 3 moles gives 2 moles. So 1 by 20 gives how much? 3 moles gives 2 moles. 1 by 20 is how much? That is 2 into 1 by 20 by 3. That is 1 by 30 moles. Ammonia produced is 1 by 30 moles. But in our question, find the number of moles of ammonia produced. So now our answer is here 1 by 30. And also find the volume of gaseous reactant left in the second reaction. So this is our second reaction, which is left here. Nitrogen left because it is in excess. How much value is in excess? How much value is in excess? That means, so 1 by 60 is required, already 1 by 5, that is remaining. Remaining is 1 by 5 actually taken, that is 1 by 60 involved in the reaction. So how much is the remaining here? After calculation, the remaining value is 0.033 mole will be remaining. 0.033 mole will be remained. That means actually 1 by 5 moles is taken. The required value is 1 by 60. So remaining taken minus reacted is equal to remaining value. Remaining this much moles of N2 is remains 0.033 moles. Okay, volume. He is asked volume, that is 0.33 into 22.4 liters. That is 4.1 liters at SCP. 4.1 liters at SCP. Yes, correct. That is. Boys, is this clear? So once again, this is first reaction. The product is here. This reactant, this product. Sorry, boys. His voice is clear. His voice clear. Audible? Yes. Okay. Is this question clear? Okay. Okay. Thank you, my dear. Ma, did you understand this problem? Okay. Next one. Two moles of Br2 and 9 moles of fluorine completely react together to form BrF3 and BrF5, BrF3 and BrF5 compounds. Find the moles of BrF3 and BrF5 formed. Waiting for you. BrF3 and BrF5 formed. So see here, bromine and fluorine are taken. 2 moles and 3 moles are completely reacted. No one is excess, no one is limiting reagent. So completely consumed. During that, these two compounds are formed. He wants to calculate how many moles are this compound. Wrong, my dear. Who is wrong? See here. That is Br2 plus F1. These two are taken. First one gives BrF3 and also gives BrF5. BrF3 and BrF5. Okay. Let's A moles of BrF3 form. Let it be. And B moles of BrF5 form. A moles and B moles. Yes, 1 and 3, correct. Good. A moles and B moles. Now, moles of B. Moles of Br2 is equal to, here A moles of bromine, here B moles of bromine is there. A plus B, that is bromine atom, but we are going to take molecules by 2 and A plus B by 2. Moles of F2 also equal to, here 3A, here 5B by 2. Those are atoms now going to fluorine molecules exactly. Molecules are half of that of atoms. This value is given as 2 moles. This value is given as 9 moles. 2 moles and 9 moles. So by solving these, that implies A plus B gives 4. 3A plus 5B gives 18. By solving these two, A value is equal to 1. B value is equal to 3. B value is equal to 3. So A and B are nothing but moles of BrF3, moles of BrF5. Moles of BrF3 and moles of BrF5. This is the way to calculate. So because these two are exactly reacted, so no one is remaining. No one is remaining. That is the corresponding value. Okay. So this is mole concept. Now one more problem. Find the volume of air. Find the volume of air at STP, which is having 80% N2. At STP, which on burning with magnesium, produces a compound, and hydrolysis of this compound produces a compound. Hydrolysis of this compound finally produces 3.4 grams ammonia. 3.4 grams ammonia. This is the question. Read carefully. You want to calculate volume of air, which is having 80% nitrogen. Volume of air. So now what are the reactions behind it? There are two reactions. First one, air. Nitrogen present in air reacts with magnesium. Nitrogen present in air reacts with magnesium. That means magnesium plus nitrogen. This nitrogen is from air, mind it. Gives Mg3N2, magnesium nitride. For our balancing, 3Mg plus N2 gives 3Mg N2. It is first equation. It is the component. This is the compound. That compound is hydrolyzed. That means Mg3N2 is hydrolyzed, means reacts with water, gives 3MgOH twice plus NH3 plus NH3. So balancing 6H2O, 2 NH3N. These are the balance equations. Now solve. Here this product is formed. How much product is formed? 3.4 grams. 3.4 grams means 3.4 by 17. That is equal to, so that is 2. So 2 by 10, that is equal to 1 by, there is 0.2 and 0.2 mole is taken and 0.2 mole. That means 1 mole Mg3N2 here produces 2 moles ammonia. 0.2 moles ammonia gives how many? That is 1 mole gives 2 moles. That is exactly half here. It is 0.1 mole this Mg3N2. This is used here. That 0.1 mole here. 1 mole nitrogen gives 1 mole this component. Here 0.1 mole is required. That 0.1 mole required is 0.1 mole nitrogen. 0.1 mole nitrogen. Okay. This 0.1 mole nitrogen means this is from air. This is only nitrogen. This is only nitrogen. That means 2.24 liters at STP. Nitrogen, and once again this is nitrogen. This is 80% nitrogen, but we want air in it. That means 100 liters air contains 80 liters N2. We have 2.24 liters N2 only. 2.24 liters N2. How much air is required? That is 100 into 2.24 by 80. That is equal to 2.8 liters air. 2.8 liters. Okay, 7/8. So 2.8 liters. Once again, it is consecutive reaction. The formed product is used here. So in first reaction, the product acts as a reactant in the second reaction. That is consecutive reactions. This type of consecutive reactions are well known and most important. Okay, so this is very, very important. Next, easy or not? Yes, students, easy or not? Did you understand me? Okay, thank you. Easy and very, very easy, no doubt. Thank you. See here, one more, a mixture problem. 19 grams mixture of Na2CO3 sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. When heated strongly, produces 1.12 liter of CO2 gas 1.12 liters of CO2 gas at STP. At STP. Find the mass of solid residue. Find the mass of solid residue and also find the moles of CO2 and also find the moles of CO2 needed. Find the mass of solid residue and also find the moles of CO2 needed to convert solid residue into NaHCO3. Solid residue into NaHCO3. Solve this problem. Here Na2CO3 and NaHCO3 are taken and heated. See here, Na2CO3 on heating, no reaction. Already I told yesterday, no reaction. It is not decomposed. Please be remember. That means Na2CO3 not involved in the reaction. 4.2 grams. Wrong. Na2CO3 not involved in the reaction. But NaHCO3 on heating gives Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. So for our balancing, 2 NaHCO3 gives that much. Okay. So from here, 2 mole NaHCO3 gives 1 mole CO2. That is 22.4 liters CO2. 22.4 liters CO2. Here, how many moles of CO2 is formed? 1.12 liters CO2 is formed. That entire 1.12 liters only from sodium bicarbonate, not from sodium carbonates. Okay. So 1.12 liters CO2 is formed. So from how much of this one? That is 2 into 1.12 by 22.4. That is equal to 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole NaHCO3. 0.1 mole means weight by gram molecular weight. That is 8.4 grams. 0.1 mole means 8.4 grams because 1 mole is equal to 84. 0.1 mole is equal to 8.4 grams. That means among this 19 grams, 8.4 grams NaHCO3 is there. 8.4 grams. Okay. So, therefore, in this 19 grams, 8.4 grams NaHCO3 and remaining 8.4 means that is 10.6 grams Na2CO3 is there. This 10.6 grams Na2CO3 not involved in the reaction. Next, here Na2CO3 is also formed here in the reaction. That means 2 moles gives 1 mole. 2 moles gives 1 mole. Now, how many moles of this NaHCO3 is formed? That is here 0.1 mole involved. 0.1 mole means 2 moles gives 1 mole. 0.1 mole how much? 0.1 mole how much? That is 0.05 mole. 0.05 mole. That is how many moles of that one is formed? 5.3. That is 5.3 grams, and 1 mole is equal to 106 grams. Now it is 5.3 grams is formed. Now total Na2CO3. Therefore, total Na2CO3 is equal to this unreacted one plus this formed one. That is 15.9 grams is the residue. This Na2CO3 is nothing but residue, and that is the residue value. That is 15.9 grams is formed. It is the first question. That is how much solid residue is formed. That is 15.9 grams is formed. 15.9 grams. Next, convert and also find the moles of CO2 needed to convert the solid residue into NaHCO3. How much solid residue is there? 15.9. There is a continuation step. There is a continuation step. That is now that residue once again gives NaHCO3. That is Na2CO3 reacts with carbon dioxide in water, gives NaHCO3. NaHCO3. That is 2 moles NaHCO3. So 1 mole reacts with 1 mole CO2 gives 2 moles NaHCO3. 1 mole means 106 grams. 106 grams needed 22.4 liters CO2. Now 1 mole CO2. Because CO2, moles of CO2 he asked. That's why here 1 mole is 15.9 grams required how many moles? How many moles? That is 15.9 by 106, which is equal to 0.15 mole CO2 is required. 0.1 mole CO2 is required. It is the continuation process. So, how many moles? 0.15 mole is required. That is the second question answer. That is second question answer. So, everywhere in today's problems, consecutive reactions, sequential reactions I am going to take because these are very, very important towards your advanced exam. So, that's why I am also doing such type of problems. Okay. So, listen carefully, very, very important. So, find out, first of all, see here, when Na2CO3 and NaHCO3 are taken, if they are heated, only NaHCO3 is going to decompose, but not Na2CO3 because Na2CO3 is self-stable. The entire CO2 coming out from that mixture only from NaHCO3. So